is committed to its twin objectives of promoting financial literacy and entrepreneurship. The annual award function is to recognize the untiring efforts of successful entrepreneurs at the scale-up level and mentoring and encouraging of aspiring entrepreneurs at the startup level. So ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the Altina Annual Award 2015. We now welcome the guest to the day. Mr. Clifton De Silva, Director, Altina Securities Private Limited. Mr. Clifton De Silva is the Director of Altina Securities Private Limited, which is a member of the National Stock Exchange. During his career, he visited several hundred facilities belonging to reputed companies and has interacted with leading industrial groups like Tata's, where he was a director, the Ambanis, Singhanias, Piramills, Volchan, to name a few. His passion is promoting financial literacy and entrepreneurship. Next, Mrs. Uma Krishnan. She's the Executive Director of JP Morgan India Private Limited. The next is Mr. Harish Tawani, Founder, Nimbus Communications Limited. Harish Tawani is the founder of Nimbus Communications. He holds a bachelor's degree in economics. He has vast experience in the field of advertising and leveraged by successful selling sponsorship for hit TV shows like Super Hit Muqabla and Fauji, before focusing on sports with the 1992 Cricket World Cup. He built Neo Sports from scratch and in a short span of 3 months managed to bag BCCI's TV rights in 2006 to successfully challenge ESPN Star. He is an avid golfer. And Dr. Chandrasekhar Prabhu, ex-secretary, SAARC.
Okay, we'll have his introduction subsequently. We also invite Mr. Ajay Thakur to the dais. We'll take you through his credentials once he begins his presentation. The Altina Essay Contest enters its 6th edition. The earlier editions were restricted to a few select states, but this year the geographical reach has extended to a pan-India basis, spanning 29 states and 7 union territories, as well as a few overseas countries, covering an audience of around 500,000, represented by educational institutions, business schools, universities, colleges, trade chambers, Catholic parishes, etc. And the response to the contest has been overwhelming. The past 5 editions were fully sponsored by us. However, this year, a part of the contest is being co-sponsored, and this was done entirely on the suggestion of Mr. Cordris of the Cordris Group of Companies. The annual essay contest is purely a CSR activity, and we do not seek any commercial benefit. Also, we run our activity on a pure boutique format and do not solicit business. Hence, Mr. Cordris was of the view that considering the reach the contest provides, it could be beneficial to companies who are aiming to build a brand, especially among the younger audiences. The response of sponsors to the suggestion was overwhelming, and regretfully we could not accommodate all the requests and hence restricted sponsorship to only those companies who are under our initiative promoting entrepreneurship. Over the past several years, Altina Securities has been playing a very active role in focusing on its twin objectives of promoting entrepreneurship and financial literacy. The annual essay contest enables us to identify, promote, and groom aspiring entrepreneurs. We groom young individuals, entrepreneurs possessing the requisite initiative with the necessary perseverance, drive, long-term vision, and of course the ability to take calculated risks. Talking about our focus area, we look at it this way. There are A, providers of capital, that is the investors, And then the consumers of capital, the entrepreneurs. Providers of capital are basically investors who are looking at viable opportunities to lock in their capital, while consumers of capital are typically entrepreneurs who have great ideas and are looking for long-term capital to monetize those ideas. By promoting financial literacy, we attempt to educate the providers of capital to take informed investment decisions. And by promoting and nurturing entrepreneurship, we help aspiring entrepreneurs to set up as well as scale up their successful ventures, which in turn could contribute to the country's economic growth. This in turn will generate jobs and also provide decent returns to the providers of capital. In summary, we connect the providers of capital with the consumers of capital. As far as financial literacy is concerned, our focus is on financial assets with special emphasis on equities, as we believe that equities as an asset class will outperform all other asset classes over a longer period of time. Our objective is to educate the investor on the merits of investing in equities. Even a passive investment in the Sensex in the year 1980 on an investment of rupees 100 is worth rupees 28,000 today, a return of approximately 280 times over a period of 25 years. For example, HDFC Bank commenced operations with one bank in the year 1995 and today has over 4,000 branches. An investment of rupees 10,000 in the year 1995 is valued at rupees 112 lakhs today. Another example, Maruti Suzuki. Maruti Suzuki commenced operations with a capacity of 100,000 vehicles and currently has a capacity of 1.5 million vehicles. An investment of rupees 11,000 in the IPO is valued at rupees 42 lakhs today. Going on, Infosys started operations in the year 1983 with an amount of rupees 50,000 in a 500 square feet apartment. An investment of rupees 9,500 in the year 1992 is valued at over rupees 600 lakhs today. An investment of rupees 10,000 in the year 1980 in Wipro is again valued at over rupees 600 lakhs today. Similarly, an investment of rupees 10,000 in Sun Pharma in the year 1980 is worth around rupees 400 lakhs. These are just a few illustrations where the providers of capital have created huge wealth for themselves on the basis of informed decisions. Not only have the providers of capital gained handsomely, but also several consumers of capital have grown from scratch to such huge enterprises. Reliance Industries is a classic example. In 1977, the company went public to raise rupees 2.82 crore and clocked a turnover of rupees 137 crore for a 15-month period. Currently, the company records a turnover of over rupees 4 lakh crore. And Mukesh Ambani has emerged as the richest individual with a net worth of rupees 1.3 lakh crore. Similarly, Dilip Sanghvi of Sun Pharma commenced operations in the year 1983 with an investment of rupees 10,000 and today is the second richest individual with a net worth of rupees 128 lakh crore. On the international scene too, huge wealth has been created. In the year 1992, 5 aspiring entrepreneurs approached Sequoia venture capitalist Michael Moses for investment of USD 5 million to start a technology business. And he was advised against it, stating that IBM would lay it. The company in question is Cisco, which started with USD 2 million and is today valued at USD 139 billion. Similarly, in the year 1999, 3 aspiring entrepreneurs approached him again for an amount of USD 5 million, where again he was advised against it, citing that Microsoft would lay it low. The company in question is none other than Google, which started with 0.1 million and today is valued at USD 493 billion. These are just a few examples where both the providers of capital and the consumers of capital have benefited immensely. The first company that we took public was Hexaware, promoted by Mr. Atul Nishar, and the recent company we took public was Pune-based Autoline Industries Limited. Mr. Atul Nishal invested around rupees 50 lakhs in the company and recently sold his stake for an amount of over rupees 4,000 crores. Autoline, which had a turnover of a mere 11 lakh rupees in 1995, is now close to a turnover of around rupees 1,000 crores. However, with the setting up of the SME platform, both at the NSE and PSE, we have shifted our focus to the SME sector, as we are of the view that despite being the backbone of the nation's economy, only around 6% of the sector manages to get access to funds. With access to funds being a major constraint, the SME sector is unable to unleash its potential. The statistics speak as follows. In India, micro, small and medium enterprises contribute 8% to the GDP, 45% of the manufactured output, and as many as 3 million SME units in India are responsible for nearly 40% of all industrial exports. The sector provides employment to about 80 million people and creates around 13 lakh jobs per year, producing over 8,000 different products and is growing at the rate of 8% per annum. The USD 5 billion sector has as many as 50 million enterprises. SME in India embodies the entrepreneurial spirit of the people of India. While bigger companies and industrial groups get a lot of media attention as well as assistance from industry and the government, the SME sector has to face a lot of hurdles. Small firms depend on entrepreneurs. These are individuals who have ideas and are willing to take the necessary risk to grow the business. India needs more entrepreneurs, and we are constantly looking at ways in which potential entrepreneurs may be encouraged to set up firms. Our observation reveals that there are cultural factors which discourage many people from starting a business. Therefore, there is a need to develop more entrepreneurial culture, especially among the youth, and entrepreneurship should form part of the curriculum of the educational institutions. The stigma attached to failure should be erased. Again, the administrative requirements are over a major factor discouraging entrepreneurs. Also, entrepreneurs find it difficult to attract investors. Then there are certain groups in society, such as people from the minority community as well as women, who face additional difficulties while setting up a business. And hence, we are of the view that special attention requires to be provided to these groups. In future, we propose to develop an entrepreneurship action plan as a blueprint for decisive action to unleash India's entrepreneurial potential. India is a vast country with a population of about 1.2 billion. According to an estimate, India needs around 1 to 1.5 crore jobs every year for the next decade, so as to provide gainful employment to India's young population. Large business houses in India, both in the private and public sector, would find it very difficult to generate employment on such a large scale. Hence, the need to actively focus on entrepreneurship thinking, which can in turn help in creating jobs to absorb India's young population. The SME Exchange is a platform which provides the sector with growth capital. The benefits of listing on the SME platform are enormous, and entrepreneurs who have built companies through sheer hard work, sacrifice, grit, and determination, and have created value, have a great opportunity to unlock this value and further create market value, where all the intangibles of the business they have created get reflected. It is very heartening to announce that today many entrepreneurs have realized the advantage of unlocking value, and the response from entrepreneurs has emerged from a flood into a flood from a trickle. We are in the process of handholding several companies in the SME sector to unlock value, with many of them being in various preparatory stages. The SME platform is a great benefit to motivate passionate entrepreneurs to unlock value, which has been painstakingly created over the years. Listing unlocks hidden value. Cafe Coffee Day, which commenced operations in the year 1996 with one outlet, today has 1,530 outlets and plans to take the tally to over 10,000 outlets in the next few years. The company recently raised rupees 1,150 crores and is today valued at around rupees 3,200 crores. Indigo Airlines, which commenced with one aircraft in 2006, today boasts of a fleet size of 98 and the tally is expected to reach 350 over the next few years. The company has raised around rupees 3,000 crores in the IPO and today the company is valued at over rupees 27,000 crores. An unknown entity, Alibaba, raised a record $25 billion in the IPO market, a world record beating Facebook, which till then held the record, raising an amount of $17 billion in the IPO market. Facebook is valued at $293 billion, while Alibaba is valued at $207 billion. The company with the highest market capitalization in the world today is Apple at rupees 43 lakh crore, while in India it is Reliance valued at rupees 3 lakh crore. Therefore, the potential to create wealth is immense, especially in a country like India, which is on the path of explosive growth. As of now, we have been instrumental in listing two companies on the SME platform, Picos Pubs and Hotels Limited, promoted by Mr. Colin Timms, and Kawasji Bharamji Catering Services Limited, promoted by Mr. Alfred. The third company, Malaika Appliances, promoted by Mr. Gilbert, has filed the red herring draft prospectus with the BSE SME platform and is likely to open the public subscription in the last week of November. While the fourth company, Quadros Motors, promoted by Mr. Quadros, is expected to shortly file its red herring draft prospectus with the BSE SME platform. We are confident that these companies, as consumers of capital, will create enormous value for the providers of capital. We wish them, as well as those in the pipeline, all the best. As far as these companies are concerned, we advise them to focus on three parameters: age, size, and speed. In terms of age, built to last, meaning companies are built to last forever. In terms of size, from an ant to an elephant, companies must grow big over a period of time. In terms of speed, from a tortoise to a hare, companies will have to adapt to the speed of light. Thank you.